reply to. We're going to show you how.
It's not so much of what it replied to. It feels otherwise like you're shouting into the void.
Don't you worry about it. I'm going to sort it all out for you right now.
My God, live sorting out. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome once again to another one of my live streams. I'm very excited to say in the virtual studio we have David Chernick.
Yo.
A man who needs no introduction other than this one. And myself, the man of many hats himself, Mr. Gareth Wax. Now, we talk about modern sales, but today we're talking about how to get a reply before AI possibly could. What is it that we're warbling on about, David?
Okay, so very common situation. You send someone an email, they don't reply.
It's so common.
Right now, I'm not talking here about the volume email spam shit that we all get. Of course, you're not going to get a reply to. That's why you send out so many thousands of those things for that odd doofus who does reply back, accidentally probably.
Incidentally, without going too far off in a tangent, are those things worth doing? The big spammy 20,000 reel out that you get?
They might be, but I mean, I don't want to be a spammer in the same way that I don't want to.
But I think they burn opportunity.
I mean, I don't want to have to get my kit off to attract attention, and I don't want to have to spam the shit out of people to get a reply. Now, I acknowledge that is a branch of marketing, yeah. And if you are involved in spam marketing, then
good luck. Good luck.
I'm sorry, I suppose someone has to do it, but it's a bit smelly, and I don't want you coming near me particularly.
Oh.
However, there are, but that's marketing. I'm not talking about marketing here. I'm talking about the money shot. I'm talking about sales, actual stuff that brings money in selling business services typically. Yeah.
Right.
It's not a volume game. I've sent a proposal to somebody and they haven't replied. So what's gone wrong there? And there could be all sorts of different things. Most people that I deal with anyway seem to jump to the conclusion that they haven't got a reply because the person didn't like the quote. But in my experience, it's way simpler than that usually. Usually they haven't even read it.
I've beginning to come to that conclusion. I also, we started out this conversation today off air, talking about the fact that in one of my hats, I'm a musician and I performed for a sushi chain, and apparently the manageress at the time and everyone involved and the staff and the clients all really enjoyed what I did, and they said it was perfect and delightful. But the owner of the chain, when I wrote to them saying, how about some more dates? Here's an idea, whatever it is, I had nothing back. But it's only been 4 days.
Now, you did say in the green room that, the owner is a busy person. It's a chain. They've got a number. They're also opening up more places. So, of course, but that's normal. We're selling stuff to people who are usually pretty busy. Yeah.
Yes.
And often they're buying a load of different stuff all the time. And often what we're selling isn't the be all end all of their life, much as we like to think it might be.
No, I mean, let's face it, I'm just a bit of entertainment for them. They've got many more fish, quite literally, to fry.
So you've got your email open. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously don't disclose the name of the person that you're... Yeah, call him, I don't know, Joe or something.
No, I would say, dear.
Okay, so stop. So already, like we're jumping ahead, by the way. We're going to come back to the more important stuff than the first line of the email, which we'll tackle now, but we're going to go back to the subject line, right?
Oh, the subject line is...
Wait. You said Dear Joe. Okay. Now, is it Dear Joe and then a comma and then a line space and then the first paragraph? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, most people in business are going to have one of these things, yeah, a smartphone. Okay, and a lot of people are screening their emails on their smartphone. Okay, now even by the end of this call, I'm going to have a number of emails in here, and they're not all going to get a reply, obviously. Yeah, there they are, and I'm going to scroll through, and I'm going to be looking for the things that need to be dealt with before my next meeting.
Sure.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know who these guys are. Intellect Group, I'm so sorry, that's a swipe. Jonathan Paker, I'm so sorry, mate. That's a swipe. Yeah. Oh, something from my local community. I'm going to keep that for later. Oh, so a client, Ali. Okay. So Ali is going to get a tap on. Now, what's made me tap on Ali's is that, firstly, I know the name. It's somebody I deal with. Okay. It's somebody who's a client, as it happens.
Yes.
Now, your friend Joe at the sushi chain, there's a good chance she's going to recognize your name to start with. But what have you put in the subject?
The subject is Gareth Wax, space hyperspace, name of the restaurant, dates, plus first invoice submitted.
Okay. So that's a reply to an invoice email that you had sent that she had dealt with and paid the invoice, right?
She hadn't dealt with the invoice yet. It was sent. This was the email sent shortly after the one that was spat out by my Invoice to Go software.
Okay, fine. So it's a reply to some old shit. Okay, it's done. Now, what I would be doing there is I'd be looking for a subject line that's going to stand out for the particular task that you want to accomplish in that email. Personalize the subject line. Yeah, don't contrive it. Stay in that subject line exactly what it is that you want to do. So, for example, in your case, you're looking for future bookings.
Yes.
Right. So those future bookings would be when, for example, when would you be looking for the next?
I was going to, within here, I said a couple of dates.
What dates? What dates?
She'd have to define when those dates
are.
What
do you reckon? What are you aiming for? What are you trying to get?
Well, I'm not sure whether she wants to carry on doing, because this one was a midweek one where she wants to carry on doing that, or whether she wants to do ones on the weekend. So it's going to be down to her.
Subject line: midweek or weekend, comma, Joe, ...
That's in the subject line. In the subject line.
The subject line.
With her name in it.
I do like putting the first name in the subject line, so they know it is for them. And I like to put it after, like, comma, Joe, because that's conversational, right? That's how you would talk. If you saw it face to face, you'd be going, so are we going to do midweek or weekend, Joe? Right? So that's what we're saying. All right. Subject line. So you're making life easy for Joe. Yeah, she knows that, and she'll get into the habit of seeing your emails and realizing that emails from Gareth Wax are easy to deal with. I'm not going to have to read a whole pile of shit, figure out what it is. No, it's just going to be quick, easy to deal with. So much so that really what we should be aiming for here, ultimately, is that everything that they need is in the subject line. However, you have a limited space. So I would try and keep it to about 40 characters or less, 43 characters, because, again, most people are screening their emails on their smartphones, and factory settings on the smartphone will give you in the email system there about 43 characters, right? So keep it short.
All right.
Okay. So make that your subject line. Now we get into the assuming they open it. Okay. In fact, they're not even going to open it yet. On factory settings on most smartphone email systems, you're going to get a preview of the email. So you're going to see the first line and a half, let's say, about 100 or so characters in the preview. So make that real estate in the email count. If you put in there, dear Joe, comma, space, new line, I hope you had a good weekend, blah, blah, blah. That's all they'll see in the preview.
No, what it says in mine is it would be dear, so this happened, exclamation mark.
Yeah. So
you don't put a blank line in between the dear and the...
I think most email systems are ignoring that blank line, but, I don't want to have a dear Joe. is what I'm saying. Don't use up "Dear Joe, it was lovely seeing you," or any of that kind of stuff, right? We're going to go straight into it. Okay, so we could start that email with the call to action, right? Which is for her to answer the question about what she wants to do in the future. So for example, you could say,
I've put a subject line: Wednesdays or Saturdays? Question mark. Her name ... question mark.
Yeah. So first line of the actual email.
Yeah.
You could even put, "Here are some dates, comma, Joe. Please can you pick one of these dates as the next gig, comma, Joe." With a question mark after that. Right, and as soon as I write a question, I want to give them a reason for answering that question.
But here's the thing: I was told by the manager that they're not going to have any music in September, so therefore the dates have got to be in October, right?
Okay, so here are some dates in October to choose, comma, Joe. Or please can you pick one of these dates in October, Joe? Make it a question.
Yeah, let's do that.
Live on
air. Here are some dates. No,
please can you pick one of these dates in October, Joe?
Can you pick one of these dates in October,
comma, Joe, question mark. Whenever you ask a question, we want to give them a reason, because you're more likely to get an answer to that question if you give them a reason. The way that we show that it is a reason is we start the very next sentence on the same line with the word "because."
Oh, on the next line is "because"?
Not the next line, the next sentence. So we're staying on that line.
You're starting a sentence with "because"?
I certainly am. Do you want to reply or not?
Yeah, sure.
You can start sentences with the word "because." If you want to have a grammatical debate with me, you can start sentences with the word "and." You can start sentences with the word "but."
I doff my hat to the greatest grammar manipulator in the world.
You believe in the Oxford comma, right?
I do. I prefer the Collins shorter, but carry on.
All right. So you're going to start. So you're going to give her a reason, because I know you're not going to do any in September. It doesn't even matter really what the reason is. I mean, I like to keep the reason relevant.
Not in September.
And I'm getting booked up in October already.
Right. Okay.
Now that is basically the email done. If you wanted to add some niceties, for example, if you were originally going to say, "Dear Joe, it was lovely seeing you at the weekend. Really enjoyed that game." Now's the time to put that. Okay. If you wanted to do that, "It was lovely seeing you performing in your restaurant on Saturday.
Sure.
Love from Gareth Wax," with your signature. Yeah, whatever you use. I like to put Gareth Wax and your telephone number on the same line as each other. All right. And now you're going to have one extra little detail.
What would that be?
Have you written Gareth Wax with your phone number?
Yeah. Should I put Gareth Wax, DJ Bongo? Gareth Wax. Wax. AKA DJ Bongo.
DJ what?
Bongo.
DJ Bongo.
That's what I'm known as.
Yeah. I knew that. Right. And folks listening, we have done a gig together.
I get that. And I'll put that's it then. Yeah.
That's it. But after your name, we're going to add one more thing.
What's that?
New line. PS.
PS.
PS. Postscript. PS.
Yes.
Now, I like using this space because when people are looking at emails, if they open it, they'll generally read the first line and then they'll scoot down past everything else to the signature line. They'll just see, who's this from again? They'll see your name. And that, again, is a very valuable piece of email real estate. So I want to use it carefully.
Okay.
So in that PS, straight after your name, I can do some cool stuff. I can do things like repeat the call to action. I can do stuff like adding some social proofing. Yeah.
Okay.
So in your PS, it went down a storm, your gig, right?
Yes.
So PS, the feedback on the night was incredible. Or your staff said it was incredible. If you know the name of their staff, even better. I'm sure you do.
I don't.
I don't.
It was a weird name that didn't sit in my head.
Yeah, that's most names for me because I don't have a memory for names. So I try and write down things, as you know.
I've got no memory for faces usually.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, we've had that. Okay, so you've got the email done?
And your staff seemed were overjoyed.
Overjoyed, I like it. Nice word. Right, have you done it? Send.
But even though the last one's only 4 days ago, is this not too pushy?
Send it. She won't even know. 4 days ago, that's going to be way beyond the fold of her emails, that previous one.
I haven't put any dates in yet. I need to put some dates in.
Yes. So put some dates in. So that can be in the body, yeah, between the first line and your signature.
Hang on, let's quickly pick some dates. October. So if we go Wednesday 2nd.
And with dates, put them on separate lines. So Wednesday, October 7th of October. Saturday.
Wednesday the 2nd, Saturday the 5th. Hang on, you just shove them in there. Wednesday the 2nd of October. Do I do them on one line with commas in between or separate lines?
No, separate lines. The whole thing is designed to make it as easy as possible to apply to.
October.
Develop a reputation for being someone who's easy to deal with.
I am easy to deal with. Mostly.
You could become easier to deal with if you stop sending emails that were like, "Dear Joe, hope you had a nice time. It was wonderful to do it. So and so." And if you would like to go ahead with some more, then please could you do
9th and 12th. Because it's sometimes nice to be nice.
Nice.
Apparently. I mean, it's not natural for me to be nice, so it's forced anyway. But the 9th and the 12th, I'll just give the 9th of October, Saturday, the 12th of October.
Okay.
Right, there we go, done.
There you go, send. Right. Now, there's always ways to take it to new levels and improve things, and if you wanted to go beyond the brief here, we could do things like, phone up on their bookings hotline, to phone up the restaurant and see if they've got any other acts booked on those dates and to find ones, all sorts of different stuff that you can do. But this, as an email template, if you want to get a reply, is the way to go. And it's different to AI. AI will not be writing emails like this. They're highly personalized. They are mindful and thought through. They are paying attention to the needs of the recipient, who is a busy person and wants life to be made easy.
So what you're saying is cut out the flim flam, cut straight to the chase.
Bottom line up first, bluff.
All right.
Yeah. Some people find that it's a bit direct and all of that kind of stuff, but you know, do you want to reply?
Do you know what? If it flipping works, I'm a convert. Guys, I hope you found that really useful. I certainly did. I mean, we use that as a silly example. It's just me before, but I think you can apply that pretty much in everything. People are busy.
I had a client yesterday using it to quite a big agency. They were writing to an agency they'd never dealt with before. They got a reply. It wasn't always the reply that they want, but it's a reply, and it's the beginning of a dialogue.
Do you know what? Starting a dialogue is more important than silence. Just because you haven't ticked them off doesn't mean you have, in fact, made any progress. If they haven't responded, they haven't responded. A response is a
and there's dangers with them not responding. If they haven't responded, they're less likely to even see the email in future.
Yeah, it's gone. It's in the wind. Guys, I hope you found this useful. I certainly did. Please do stay tuned. We've got plenty more to come. Once again, thank you so much, David Chernick. And I'll tell you what, with all the rest of you, please keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars, try new things out, be open to some degree of change. Just because you've always done it a certain way doesn't mean that a little course correct couldn't, as in this circumstance, mean that you change the mode by which you contact people. Until the next time we speak or see each other, I wish you all well. Have a lovely weekend.
Ciao,
Bye-bye.
ciao.